Live from Studio B in the Annenberg School here at USC. This is the Talk of Troy, where we talk a big game but have even bigger opinions. Well, are we good? Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, okay,
bigger
right.
technical issues.
And bigger technical issues. Yeah, I mean, it's okay because we're all students and we're all learning. It's part of the learning curve, right here at USC. Jonathan Sottile, Cristian Vasquez here with an amazing A blog. Jonathan, tell me first of all, how you been? How's this week?
It's been good, man. Yeah. It's been good. A lot of sports, a lot of fun. Watched the Knicks get a win this weekend. All you can ask for.
We're gonna dive into the Knicks stuff later. Man, I can't wait for that.
Come on, man. Watch. You get to watch my teams get wins, right? Knicks got to win. Jets got to win.
Hey, let's go.
And USC gets a win. That's a great weekend.
That's always a great weekend. Okay, now let's start off here locally with USC, who came away with a win against Northwestern. I think all of us kind of expected that to happen, right? 38-17, the final score on Friday nights. Friday Night Lights. What did you think of this?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the game. I think it was a good showing for USC in the second half on defense. First half, that was really worrying. That's scary, right?
Yeah.
Should not be that close. And the defense looked horrid. And that is a scary sign, especially when you're at home, right? We've seen that from USC occasionally, away, with Nebraska and stuff like that, or with Illinois. And it was like, the defense did step up, though. It was like they kind of knew what was at stake. And luckily for them.
Take off the headphones?
What's going on? Oh, no,
we're good. Sorry about that.
Anyway, oh my gosh. No. What was I saying?
You still here?
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Okay.
No, I'm trying to remember what my train of thought was. Gosh. I've lost it.
Well, we're talking about, how the game was closed.
Yeah.
And whoa. That's
okay.
super echoey.
You know what? It's okay. We're going to keep going.
Yeah, we're going to keep going.
So, with the defense stepping up in the second half, it was kind of, it's like the defense knew that they had to step up. Like, what's at stake? You lose this game against Northwestern, you can kiss the college football playoffs goodbye.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Everything goodbye.
So, everything. 100%. Season. Mm-hmm. So, they stepped up, and, it was good because they had the fans get into it, right? The fans were a huge aspect, I think, in that comeback in really energizing the team on defense, something you can't really rely on when you go, to Oregon in 2 weeks' time, right? Because you're away. Now, for Iowa, that could be another aspect, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But the offense, that was a really, really nice thing to see, right? You kind of saw, after a really tough game last time, Maava and Lemon really were back at it again, right?
That's right.
I mean, you have Maava with 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, and unfortunately, a fifth straight game with an interception.
That's okay. It's okay.
But, he's consistent.
Yeah.
And Lemon, which insane, 11 receptions, 161 yards, so an average of 14.6 yards per catch. And, of course, his touchdown. King Miller, of course, huge, still producing at the same level. 15 carries, 127 yards for 1 touchdown. But that wasn't the only fun thing that happened at that game. Could you tell me something wasn't looking right?
Well, yeah, oftentimes, special teams, they do great plays here and there, but it's not too often that you see a punter throw a dart on 4th down, right? And that's exactly what happened, right? Tied at 7, early in the second quarter, facing a 4th and 6. A certain number 80 looks like to punt, right?
Of course.
And now, typically, number 80 is associated with Sam Johnson, who was the punter. Listed as the punter on the online site. He's always worn number 80. Now, this kind of changed a little bit because there's somebody else who happened to have the same first name.
Yeah.
Name's also Sam.
Sam Switcheroo.
Yes, quick old Sam Switcheroo, exactly, yeah. But except it was Sam Heward, the 3rd-string quarterback, and it also happens to be my classmate, by the way, in my
little shout out.
Communication sports class. It was Sam Heward, 3rd-string punter, came from Washington. I think he was a former 5-star recruit, too.
Yeah.
Comes in and disguises himself. Hello, Halloween. Wears the same number 80. and throws a dart to complete a pass for a first down. And now everyone's losing their heads because, people are saying that this shouldn't happen. I know just recently the Big Ten did discuss this and brought some allegations towards it. They did say that it should have been an unsportsmanlike conduct because it goes against the rules that they quoted, right? Unfair tactics in NCAA football playing rule number 9, section 4, article 2, which is labeled two players playing the same position may not wear the same number during the game. Right. So you're saying that USC should have received a penalty for that. What did you think about this as this, transpired? It was kind of crazy to see this, right? And even the announcers, they were like, wow, Sam Johnson could throw the ball. Yeah. Like when was the last time you seen that happen, right? What did you think about this trickery that Lincoln Riley did?
So it's interesting to me because what you just stated, you said that no player of the same position can wear?
Yeah, so it says on there, 2 players playing the same position may not wear the same number during
the same position. So does that mean because he switched to, I guess, punter, but he's still technically a quarterback?
Right.
So that's why I'm like, there is a level of, I don't know, because it's technically not against because he's not a punter, he's not a kicker.
No.
He's a quarterback. Is it lined up in
the same position?
Okay, so then that obviously there is some controversy there. As far as a fake punt is concerned from USC tactics, I'm surprised Lincoln Riley didn't do it sooner. I mean, he's the fourth down general. I mean, he loves going for it on 4th down. He loves being aggressive. So I am not shocked that this came out. But yeah, I mean, if there did seem to be a lot of controversy in that if you can't line up in the same position, obviously there's a rule broken there. But what would be interesting to see, because I wasn't at the game physically, but I know when they have players switch jerseys, they announce it in the stadium.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe they didn't announce it, because obviously the announcers would have known. So that does seem a little sketchy. Especially, it's interesting to me, honestly, little take here. It feels like they were testing that to see if you could get away with it, because let's be honest. Yes, they needed it at the time, but I don't think if they don't get that or if it gets called back, USC still wins that game. And I think they know that. So I feel like it was a test to see, can we get around this so we can use it when we actually need it against, say, Iowa, Oregon, UCLA, like a test against the rules, if you will. So
it's funny because even Lincoln Riley told reporters in LA, right, that they should have paid attention to the game notes because apparently Heward's number had been number 80 for the past 3 weeks.
Oh,
that's what he said. Wow. I don't know how true that is. I see Jude's head's going.
I believe that he started wearing it during the Notre Dame game, or he had it during the Notre Dame.
Don't worry, guys. I'll confirm from the source himself when I see him in class next time. Make sure to ask him. And this is what he said following the game. So he said, quote, "It was just a well thought out thing by several of our staff members. It got added at the right time, and we had a confidence in it. Sam stepped in there, made a good throw, had a guy kind of in his face, was a good throw, made a nice play, and it was a key point of the game."
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get away with it, you get.
I have a question for you. How shocked were you at how good that throw was in the moment?
Oh, I mean, completely shocked. You don't expect, like I said, a punter to throw a dart like that.
And
right?
no one's telling you it's not the punter. Yeah. So you're like, whoa, this kid has an arm. Maybe he came to college for the wrong position.
Yeah,
right.
What do we? Yeah, give this guy a shot at quarterback next time, or make him transfer to a group of 5 schools so he can get a chance there. Yeah. No, but even then, you see, I believe the announcers were RG3 and Jason Benetti, the Fox announcer. Even they, the whole time, had said Sam Johnson.
Yeah.
Right? So it just goes to show, I mean, that you sneak it in there, you'll get away with it. Cheating, ladies and gentlemen. You can do that, apparently. But, hey, hats off to them. Hats off to Riley. You sneak it in there, you make it happen.
It's good. It's a good play.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think I agree with you. I don't think it was going to change much of the outcome of the game.
No.
It was still,
if it was a really close game, all said and done,
or deep in the 4th quarter, last drive type of thing.
This is the one. Yeah.
There would have been more controversy there.
It did.
I think so too. But I mean, sneaky play by Riley worked in our favor. Why not? Let's do it. Hats off to them. Now, moving forward, a team that's coming up here before we travel to Eugene and face off against almighty Oregon. Iowa. The Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
This team almost pulled an upset against Oregon. What do you think here, Jonathan? Do we stand a chance to beat this team from Iowa?
It's tough, right? Because there's that, that Knicks instinct to go, we got it this year, guys.
Yeah.
So I look at that game, and when I'm thinking about this decision for me, I look at the game that just happened between Oregon and Iowa. I said this last week. I said this is going to be a big tell for USC. And after that game, I'll tell you what, I'm a little more worried about Iowa and a lot less worried about Oregon.
Really?
I think that game, to me, shows that USC should have a little more hope going into Oregon. It's good for the team to witness that because, yes, Iowa's got a strong defense, but it was, you were thinking, it's Oregon. There's this good, and it's like they're not going to lose. But it was really close against Iowa, who's unranked. Mm-hmm. So, obviously, that makes Iowa look really good and makes, to me, Oregon looks beatable. I think USC can go down and do that. For Iowa, though, I was a little on the fence with it. It's going to be really difficult. But if USC can continue to play with the offense that they had from Northwestern, and they go into it, you got a really good shot. And what I really like is it's at home. If it was away, I think I sway Iowa. Because USC, really good home team. This year, not a great away team. And I think there's something to be said about, the USC Coliseum has been very electric this year. If you go, the fans have felt more into it than they have in past years. Even when it was Caleb Williams, the fans seem like they're really pushing this team to win games.
Right.
So I think because you're at home, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's not going to be a blowout. I think USC I think they get it done. I think by maybe a score and a field goal. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think maybe 10 points.
Okay. No, I can agree with that. I also think the atmosphere has been really up there. And to your point, this team has been really good at home.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a great showing if they can get this done before they head to Eugene. But I also am really focal pointing right now our defense and if they can contain the run.
Yeah.
In the game against Oregon, Kamari Moulton for Iowa carried the ball 23 times. So this is, straight up historic Big Ten football right here.
Run the ball,
right? So I think the defense, and starting with the defensive line, has to be tough from the get-go, not allow any gaps open for these running backs to get through, right? I think then we could do a good job in containing them and not allowing Iowa's defense either to, control the USC offense too much either.
Yeah.
Going back to the game against Oregon, Iowa, you see, look at Dante Moore. Dante Moore has been amazing all year. Against Iowa, 13 for 21, 112 yards, 1 interception, right?
Yeah.
This guy, one of the front runners for the Heisman Trophy, and, he goes in Iowa at Knicks Stadium, and he runs into a brick wall. Yeah, it doesn't look as great. Noah Whittington, 17 carries, 118 yards. So the run game was there, but, they barely snatched that game with a field goal. Yeah. So I think I agree to your point. This is going to come down to the wire, and if USC can be consistent, even if it's a low scoring game, I think we could notch out maybe a field goal, maybe 5-point differential. I think, but I think we can get it done in the atmosphere that we're having.
Yeah, especially that atmosphere.
Yeah, I think the home field advantage is going to be the key here for USC to win.
100%, especially like you were saying, because. USC, obviously the Oregon offense came to a standstill, and USC, yes, they did good this week, but when there was Nebraska, who I think anyone can agree, Iowa has a much stronger defense than Nebraska, and it was only 21 points.
Right.
Maava looked out of sorts. Lemon looked out of sorts. It was just
playing against the backup quarterback.
So, but and then they come back and so it's really going to be that dynamic. And so, like you said, and I think we can agree, it's going to be the atmosphere that I think pushes them over the top.
Now we'll allow the B block to go more into it a little bit because we got Matt and Nolan later. They're going to go back to back on whether the USC football team still has some playoff hopes.
Oh.
Got both sides of the seesaw here. We'll get into that a little later. Now let's go across town to our beloved rivals, UCLA, because in the recent, maybe 4 or 5 days, there's been a lot of talk about UCLA really pushing to get out of the Rose Bowl and move Holmes permanent.
Yeah.
This is a team that has never had a football stadium.
Yep.
On their campus, near their campus. They've played in the Rose Bowl for God knows how long now. I can't even get you a number on that yet, but they've played in the Rose Bowl for a very long time. But as of late, and because of the history behind UCLA, and I guess you could say the last 10 years, they haven't been so hot. I mean, yeah, they had a couple of good years with Ethan Garbers, and had a great win against SC here at home. But they, especially this year, they've struggled to sell tickets, struggled to get the fans there. But now their decision is, let's leave Pasadena for Inglewood. Now, for those of you that look at a map of LA and say, how does a team from Westwood go from Pasadena down to Inglewood? I mean, and also you got to take into account Inglewood and Inglewood and Westwood are very different. Very different.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Is this a smart move by UCLA? Now, granted, UCLA, they're considering doing this next year, right? 2026. Their lease with the Rose Bowl doesn't expire until 2043. This is more than 10 years we're talking about here. And they're trying to get out.
Which, legally, it'll be interesting to see if they can do that.
Right.
But assuming they can, I mean, I've been to both stadiums for games, and I mean, okay. UCLA, obviously, they're making a switch to a closer stadium because maybe they feel like, since it's so far, maybe that's why students aren't getting to it, right? Like it's 20, so SoFi is 12.6 miles from UCLA's campus, while the Rose Bowl is 26.8, so almost half the distance.
Wow.
But here's a really interesting thing, and I think maybe they're making the students happy, but I think they're going to be making their, older alumni fans very unhappy.
Donors
especially,
too, yeah.
right? Not only for the historic events, right, and aspects, but the Rose Bowl, although the parking is god awful.
Terrible. It's terrible.
It was Juventus Real Madrid at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And I think I was there for 4 hours trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
So they won't be missing that. But the one thing is, before the game, the tailgating scene is phenomenal. You have an entire golf course. You don't beat that tailgating scene. Mm-hmm. And that's what the donors and the alumni love. They love to tailgate before the game. Of course, you come back, you do that, you're hanging out, the networking. That's amazing for them. And you're going to SoFi. Now, the parking situation should be fixed, right? There's tons of parking SoFi. It's a little
Gary
more.
To pay $80 for parking.
That's
UCLA.
the other thing.
Yeah.
The price for parking, unreal. But there is adequate street space and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think the parking will be better. But where are you tailgating? Do they do? I mean, realistically, it's
they allow. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean they allow Chargers fans, Rams fans to tailgate.
It's allowed, but I think to the extent of which it's a lot less space, and I don't think it's going to be as connected,
right,
if you will, because it's golf course versus parking lot, and you have less room. So I think that's a big difference for me. And obviously, I think they're about the same size in capacity, so there's no issues there. But I don't know. If it's me, I mean, I think it's a little unprofessional for UCLA to try and switch out before the lease ends.
Right.
So I think they shouldn't move. I get, obviously, there's some benefits for making it half this distance. But I would like to hear what you say, because I'm pro keep the Rose Bowl.
No, I am too.
You are too?
Yes,
okay.
And I'm so glad you said keep the Rose Bowl, because I think, and maybe I'm shooting for the stars here when I say this, but if UCLA moves away from the Rose Bowl, we might lose the Rose Bowl entirely.
You think so?
I think so. If not, we risk the chance of losing the Rose Bowl entirely. Okay. Because here's a facility that's really just relying, for the most part, on UCLA football. And, of course, the once a year game on January 1st, which is historic in itself. Yeah. But I'm honestly concerned if we leave, if UCLA leaves the Rose Bowl, what's the Rose Bowl going to do?
That's true.
We already have artists aiming and trying to go for Intuit Dome, SoFi,
especially.
Even Kia Forum still going strong, but that's because it's right next to SoFi. Yeah. But I mean, you got all these other spots now. Not a lot of people want to do, concerts in Pasadena anymore.
Yeah. That's true.
And I fear that in this, I mean, look already, the sport of college football in itself is already changing. We're risking losing USC, Notre Dame. We're risking losing so many different things, the playoffs changing too. What if we lose the Rose Bowl game? What if the Rose Bowl in Pasadena say, okay, well, we're not going to save this space and all this land for a once a year event.
Well, yeah, and they wouldn't be able to afford it, probably. I mean, because you just think facilities and
it's the same thing. My head throws back to 2014 in Brazil in the World Cup. They built all these different stadiums, and those stadiums are sitting there turning into big parking lots for buses. That's my concern with the Rose Bowl. It's so historic. It's so grand. Like you said, older generation, older alumni, older folks, they love this. I love this for this game. My dream is to one day go and see a Rose Bowl game there. I've been there, for UCLA game. I've been there for concerts. I've been there for all that. But I want to go see a Rose Bowl January 1st day game. That's what I want to go see. But honestly, in doing this, we might, and I hope to God that I'm really wrong, but we might lose the Rose Bowl entirely. So, and you could see from Pasadena's side, the city of Pasadena and Rose Bowl itself, they're trying everything in their willpower to keep the Bruins there, but UCLA is really fighting that and just pushing to leave.
Yeah.
Right. Some people are even saying, why don't they build a stadium in Westwood? And I think that's even a farther shot than that's having them move to SoFi. But also another thing in my head goes, if you can barely not even fill, I mean, barely have some attendance for your home games at the Rose Bowl, what makes you think you're going to fill up the SoFi?
Yeah. And I think that the only thing for that argument is just that it's half the distance, right? From UCLA.
Yeah,
so you hope the students get there. But that's a really good point that you bring up, because obviously no one would ever want to lose the Rose Bowl.
No.
So I think hopefully for them, from the Rose Bowl's perspective, obviously they're going to have a crisis team working on this.
Right.
How can they pivot? So hopefully UCLA is unable to cut it next year. Hopefully they can delay it maybe a year or two while the Rose Bowl tries to figure out something, right? Something to pivot. But
I really do think that they should just stay put, stay there where they are at. Focus on building your team first, please. For God's sake, focus on getting better. Like, how about that? Don't worry about where your home games are going to be.
Yeah, no. First the coach, now the stadium.
Yeah, come on.
Who's to blame next, man?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I already know a lot of people already aren't happy with the athletic director at UCLA. I mean, that's no given. So if all these changes are happening, it's going to be, I think, at the end of it all, it might end up worse for UCLA.
Yeah.
Might end up worse. They're also, I think, as of late, they're not even considered to be the top UC school anymore. I think they lost that privilege too.
To who is it?
I don't know if it's Berkeley. I might be wrong, or maybe San Diego. I don't know.
San Diego.
It might be. I don't know. But I know for a fact UCLA is not the top UC school in that UC system. It's got to be something else. Thank you, Jude, if you're looking that up. Shout out to you. Who is it?
Yeah, you would be right. It is Berkeley.
It's Berkeley.
Berkeley. Look at that. Cal with their amazing Memorial Stadium there. Oh, what a beauty. What a beauty. Shout out NorCal, Bay Area. But yeah, this is, I think at the end of the day, this is going to end up worse for UCLA. So please, for the love of all that's good in this world, do not move from the Rose Bowl. Stay where you are. Focus on developing your team, getting better. And please, don't move. That's my message to UCLA. Okay, let's move on forward from that. Oh, man, this Saturday, I'm going to be very stressed out because, please, I can't take any more pain in this season. This is our one and probably, well, I'm not going to say final, because if we beat this team, we also still have to play Texas A&M. Yeah. And I'm talking about Texas facing Georgia at Sanford Stadium. I cannot. In Athens, that's a very, very, very hard environment to win in. Texas is coming off a bye week after beating, I guess, quote-unquote, upsetting, even though they were favored against Vanderbilt, but upsetting because of the rankings, Vanderbilt. But yet, despite that, I'm a big fan of Texas, but my God, when you give 21 points away to Diego Pavia in that offense in the fourth quarter, that spells disaster. That spells... a team, and even then, Sarkisian's teams are a bit knowing for blowing leads and allowing teams to come back. Even when we come away with a win against those teams, we cannot play like this against Georgia.
No,
we cannot, and especially in their home field. Oh man, that crowd is going to be chaotic, crazy. Arch Manning's, good luck, Arch. Please get us something. Yeah. All right, keep it close.
I mean,
I don't care if we lose, but keep it close. Don't make us the laughing stock of college football, please.
I don't think you're the laughing stock. I think we have some very close neighbors who might be, but and in theory, if things go really south the next 3 weeks,
oh man,
we may be sitting.
Thanksgiving Day, me with my little turkey and crying my eyes out because
as the family goes, what happened? Yeah. But I mean, it's going to be very tough for Texas, 100%. I don't think it's impossible. Mm-hmm. Georgia has lost at home already this year. Obviously, it was against Alabama. That's always a tough game.
Who's been a really good developing team through the season.
Oh yeah, and that was big for them. I know Texas. You guys beat Oklahoma.
Of course.
Of course. It was also they're a very high-ranked team right now.
So, they're whatever, I guess.
And you beat Vanderbilt. So I think you guys have the talent. Right? Texas has the talent to do it, but it's going to be a very hard game, especially with Georgia at home. But at least the Alabama game showed that it's possible to beat them at home, right?
I look at this Georgia team and I see a couple weak points here and there. Their offense isn't as explosive. Now, yes, they've got great talented players. Hey, they have Zachariah Branch, former USC Zachariah Branch right there. That's going to be fun to see him play on that side. And what's the quarterback's name? Is it for Georgia?
For Georgia.
Holy smokes! How am I butchering this right now?
It's okay. It's happened to me too.
It's Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah,
Gunnar Stockton, who came in the SEC championship game last year and completely obliterated this team, took them to a big win. If you're Texas, you're looking at this guy and going, we cannot allow this to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Beat us twice last year. This has got to stop.
Sounds like Cam Rising in USC. Tell you what.
Oh God. But I'm praying that we can come away with a win.
Yeah.
I don't have high expectations. Well, you know that because this team has let me down before, and it's tough being a fan of this team. And with that, I'm gonna transition over to fandom.
And another laughing stock.
Another laughing stock, but of a different sport. And that's basketball, because the New York Knicks, and we were talking about this in pre-production, and we're going, remember we talked about fandom, how great that was?
Yeah.
And then Jonathan brought up how tough it is being a Knicks fan, but also how often the Knicks and being fans of the Knicks get bullied.
Oh, yeah.
On TV, no less, in movie shows and all this. And well, first of all, tell me, what are you gonna say about how hard is it really to be a Knicks fan?
I mean, we've talked about it. It hurts. It's hard to be a Knicks fan, especially when it's so easy and so fun for people to make fun and poke fun at the Knicks, even when they're good. Like this year, you see, even on this podcast, I get hit with a lot of resistance with Nikki Ashton. And they were making
real quick. Talk about that.
They made a bet with me that the Knicks aren't even gonna make the finals this year. Again,
what's the bet? What's
the bet? Oh yeah. So people. If I remember correctly, essentially, I'm gonna be like the Thanos Infinity. If the Knicks don't make it, I'm gonna be like the Thanos. No, the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet of like all the Knicks enemies. So I think it was the agreement of a Trae Young jersey, a Pacers shorts, Boston Celtics something. I think it was a Boston Celtics hat. And I'm sure they're going to add some other stuff too. So all the enemies of the Knicks in recent years, I'm sure there's going to be a Sixers thing with Embiid. I don't know what that's going to be like.
It's going to be like a headband or something.
Probably. And then if, of course, the Knicks, when they do get there, they will have to dress up in full Knicks attire and root for the Knicks. So
wow.
It's it's an interesting bet, but I think it just goes to show, even when the Knicks are good and everyone's like, the East is wide open. And the Knicks, if you've watched them, obviously, I thought they were going to win that NBA Cup game. The one I said they're going to do, they didn't win that one. Then they go on to steamroll the Bulls in the next face-off. So
yeah,
the Knicks have looked really good these past few games, save for that one. And it's just like, this is their year, I think. And people still decide to argue and go, oh no, the Orlando Magic, all the time. That's what they say. So being a Knicks fan is hard. And in the media, of course, I was telling you, when you go to like New York shows, right? There was, I was just reading some of them before I go into the one that there was Kramer versus Kramer, and it was like the dad's at the paper and he goes, "Oh, I see the Knicks finally won a game." Like, what? I'm just trying to watch shows. And then you go to like Soul, which great movie, completely unrelated to sports. They're going into flow states, showing the main character around, and they're like, "Oh, I want to show you about flow states. Like when these people get really into their stuff." And she goes, "I want to show you someone I've loved messing around with." And she throws a ball at a basketball player, pans to a Knicks game, Doris Burke, and the Knicks lose another one. I'm just trying to watch my shows, movies.
And real quick before we go, we looked it up. For the first 4 that came up was Seoul 2020, and you just described what happened there. Madagascar, where Alex the Lion goes, "Oh, the Knicks lost again." How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, 2003. They said, reference the Knicks. Some fans have noted a plot hole, suggesting a general association with disappointment amongst fans. In Annie Hall 1977, a scene shows a character showing a Knicks game where the team blows a significant lead in a short amount of time. Yeah. Holy smokes.
So it's tough to be a Knicks fan, and hopefully in the next 4 weeks it won't be tougher to be a USC fan.
Only time will deter that.
Only time.
And speaking of time, we are out of time in this A block, but stick around because we got Mia, Matt, and Nolan coming up with an amazing B block. Don't go anywhere. All right, stay here.
For sure.
Yes, their defense hasn't been great, but they're also scoring so quickly. Like you're getting
after having a sluggish first half. After having a sluggish first half, they get it together. That's fine. We could save it. Welcome back to the Talk of Troy. I'm Mia. I'm here with Nolan, Matt. We were already kind of getting into a heated battle before this, so let's just get into it. Let's talk basketball. USC men's and women's hoop just got their season started last week. Just because we're talking about the men's right before this, let's hop into it. What do you guys see so far? They've played 2 games so far. They played against Manhattan, and Cal Poly was their first game. So, first impressions.
I see a well-rounded team. I mean, I know I'm going to be met with some disagreement here, but two 30-point victories. Sure, the opponents weren't anything great. You're talking Cal Poly and Manhattan. But if you're putting up 114 points, I don't care who it's against. If you're a college basketball team, scoring 114 points, that's impressive to me. You're also talking about a team that, really since Boogie Ellis has left, you haven't had like that star player. But this time, you're talking about a team that has 4 players that have really stepped up. Chad Baker-Mazara, Ezra Usar, Rodney Rice, Jacob Kofi all have over 16 points a game so far this season. They've all stepped up in their own unique role, and it's kind of the same as last year where you have different players coming from all different parts of the world, not the world, but the country, transferring, and they're actually having some bit of chemistry. Defensively, you've got to improve, obviously, but again, a 94-point and a 114-point performance to start off the year for players that have just met each other a couple months ago. That's impressive to me.
Yeah, you're highlighting the guys on the roster, but the star players. But I really want to talk about the guys who play their role when it comes to this team. Would you think that a 5'11 guard coming from UNC Asheville and Jordan Marsh is going to play a significant role on this team? When I saw these transfer portal pickups from Coach Muss in the offseason, I had no idea what to expect, because last season you saw what he had to kind of put together at the last second. You saw kind of an island of misfit toys last year. And even with that roster, I still thought they competed in a lot of games. When they beat Michigan State at home in a ranked win, I was like, dang, Coach Muss really does have a vision with this team, and I think he's done a really, really great job with assembling this roster. And yes, we're 2 games in, and they do have some defensive struggles, but I think that's going to come with the lack of communication and the lack of teamwork that they had, because this roster is completely new. There is no returning guy from last year's roster on it now that's getting significant minutes, so you're going to have to give them time. Terrence Williams is the only returning player, and he was injured 5 games into the season last year. So you're going to have to give them time. They're going to get better as they go along. And I'm going to kind of mirror the same sentiment of how I believe this team is going to be successful. I do really think that this is the first team in about 4 years that actually has a legitimate shot of competing for a spot in March Madness. Chad Baker-Mazara is going to be the most pivotal piece towards this team, because
I hope so. He's 24, so
he's been in college for a long time, and he was a part of that Auburn team last year.
I'm just saying he's old enough. You're playing against a bunch of 19-year-olds. I hope you're going to be the biggest part of this team.
I know, yeah. There are guys in the NBA that are significantly younger than Chad Baker-Mazara. But hey, we're not complaining though. We'll take that veteran leadership all day. But if he, coming from a championship contending program, coming over here and then sharing that leadership with his teammates, I really do think that this is the best team we've seen in a bit.
I definitely agree with you guys. This is the best team we've seen. Last year, I felt bad for Coach Muss because he really just threw everything together. And he definitely had some time to go in the portal this year, get some huge pickups like Chad Baker-Mazara. My concern is, I don't think that we are a championship contending team. I don't think we're not championship contending.
I don't think no one said that.
NCAA, even making the tournament. We're not a tournament team yet.
Wow.
I don't think so. Only because, like you guys said, this is a brand new team. There are significant chemistry issues, and I think we see that in their sluggish first starts of even Musselman has said before, we don't really know what rotations work yet. We don't know who to put out there. So if they don't figure that out, just like last year, but that Michigan State win came pretty late in the season, no? That's when they were trying to figure out who plays well, who works well together. That's just going to take time. So right now, I'm not that high on them just because of that. Because we are in the Big Ten. There are some seriously good teams in the Big Ten that we're going to have to conquer. And with a new team, that's just going to be hard. Also, I will say, our strength of schedule is not good. Musselman has talked about this all the time. He hates our schedule because we're not playing anyone that notable. So if you're not going to have that top contending championship teams or even anyone ranked in the AP poll, top 25, it's going to be hard to prove that you're a good team and to have that adversity in the season, right? Of let me play Michigan State, let me play whoever, Auburn or something, right? Without that, it's going to be hard to prove that you're legitimate, and it's going to be hard to get to the tournament, much less do well in the tournament if you're not used to playing against good teams.
All it means is the Trojans can't lose that many games. You can't be one of those teams that's, I think it's usually 10 losses is kind of right where you got a 50-50 chance of making it. You can't be that team if you're the Trojans, but I don't know. I look at this team and, again, it's the same story with last year. You got a lot of talent, didn't know each other a couple months ago. They come together, form this team. Last year couldn't get it done, didn't even really get close. I think this team is the vision that Musselman had for last year's team. And yeah, the defense hasn't been anything great, but I think a lot of that is because the Trojans are going down, getting shots up, usually scoring, but when they're not, it just, the games are fast-paced. And I got a stat for you. In the Big Ten, the Trojans are giving up to opponents 36.1% shooting from the field. That ranks 8th lowest in the Big Ten. They're middle of the pack in terms of actual efficiency. It's just their opponents are getting shot because USC is doing that. I don't see any huge holes in this defense. It's not a good defense by any means, but I don't think it's bad at all either.
I think it's the lack of size because, outside of the giant you have with Gabe Dines, he's not a guy you can't trot out there for more than 20 minutes a game because he's a liability, especially when teams exploit him in transition. And obviously Eric Musselman knows that. He led the nation in blocks per game last year, but that's because you just stick the guy in the paint and, you can't get anything past him. But
even against Cal Poly, he didn't get that many minutes because Musselman said, like, the way that they're playing, they're just going to shoot threes all day, and, like, what would Dines be out there for? He's not going to get anything done. Exactly.
So in a Big Ten competitive atmosphere where you have to play UCLA, Michigan State, Michigan, he's not going to be able to compete in certain situations. So I really do think that's going to be kind of the downfall for this team, if there is to be a downfall. Jacob Kofi is the next tallest guy on the roster at 6'10", and I think with some of our wings/forwards that we have on this team, with him, with Ezra Sarr, they're some of the most athletic players we've seen in the program in a really, really long time. These guys can get to the rim. They can do whatever they need to do in order to score. So I'm really confident in this team's ability to score. It's just that when you face these big name programs, are you going to be able to compete with our 7-foot playmakers? I don't think we're going to be able to. But I do think we'll be able to take care of business, and I do think we'll qualify and get a bid for March Madness.
Something I do like about this team that I didn't see in last year's team is that they are better with Coach Muss's coaching style.
I agree.
Last year's team, Muss, if you just watching him one game, he gets super fired up. He's probably wanting to throw something while looking like he wants to hit someone, right? That's just who he is. That's who he is, and at this point in his career, you just have to accept that. Last year, I feel like he didn't get players who really want to do well with that coaching style. This year, I think those players do feel fired up. I remember I was watching the presser for the last game, and they were saying that he was throwing. What was he throwing at them? He was throwing cups or something at them, and they're like, yeah, once he did that, it lit a fire under our butt, and we went out there and played, right? That's not the same kind of conversation you saw in last year's team. You saw them getting really irritated.
Wesley Yates, I remember him and Coach Muss were not in the same terms, and then once he departed in the transfer portal, I was like, kind of saw that coming.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like this team is much better with Coach Much because they understand his coaching style and they're okay with that. And so that's why I see we can kind of turn it around more, because if you have that coach and player mentality, that connection, things will turn out better. But going on to the other side of hoops, women's hoops, they just had a huge ranked win against number 9 NC State. I think we went up 10 points in the poll. Now we're 8th. What's your first impressions from them?
I mean, that's a huge win. Jazzy Davidson has done everything she's had to do. She really reminds me a lot of Juju Watkins, not just play style necessarily, but just stepping up. You're the number 1 recruit on a team who doesn't necessarily have a ton of talent outside of her. Not that it's not a talented squad, but if you're talking about competing, any other contenders, number 2 is better than a USC number 2. Their number 3 is better than a USC number 3. It's Jazzy Davidson that's really carrying them. Although I will say, London Jones has been huge pickup. 17.5 points a game for her. She, against NC State, shot, I think, 4 of 9 from 3. She's been awesome. She's been that girl that if you didn't have her, USC would not have beaten NC State. Simple as that. And I don't think a lot of people expected that from her.
I do think that when it comes to the women's roster, they're still going to have to find their identity, much like the men's team, without Juju Watkins. And I do think that Jazzy Davidson's done a really, really good job in the limited game time that we've seen so far. But I hate to be the pessimist and I hate to be that guy. There is no one in the nation, especially as a true freshman coming into a program like this, that's ever going to be able to fill into the shoes of Juju Watkins. And while she can admirably do as much as she can, I do think that this team is inevitably going to be capped in terms of their upside. This is a huge win against NC State, but you look at the rest of the roster and then you're missing a lot of size. Yep. Last year, on the boards both defensively and offensively. You had a chance to go up there for second chance points. You had a chance to dominate the paint, to dominate the glass, and go grab those rebounds. This year's roster, I don't feel the same energy inside the paint. I feel like this team's going to have to succeed on the perimeter. And you know how college basketball is, especially with shooting. If you aren't on that type of rhythm where your team's in a groove when it comes to shooting from three, shooting from the mid-range, your team's not going to be able to find wins outside of that. You know, it's going to be hard to string together a win through like a nitty-gritty fashion that last year's team would have been able to do. And so I just think that, yes, this team will be contending, but I just don't think they're going to be able to go the distance that last year's team made with no Juju Watkins.
I 1000% agree. I do think this last game wasn't the best game for NC State or USC, honestly. If you watch the last 5 minutes of the game, they were both missing shots back and forth. It was a nail-biting game in the fact that it did come to the end of, like, you know, Jazzy hitting that last layup and winning by 1 point. But if you watch the game, it was just a lot of both of them missing wide open layups, missing opportunities. Like you talked about, we're missing a front court. There's no one that can fill Kiki and Rhea's shoes. We don't have any height on the team. Our starting lineup was 4 guards against NC State. And because of that, I think what Lindsey Gottlieb's been doing is trying to get our 3 working. And so during the game, you saw them taking a lot of threes, but they're not making them. I think they shot 26% from the 3-point line. And all of those, I think, was London.
Yeah, outside of London, this team can't shoot.
It was London. And, like, Jazzy's trying. Like, obviously, like, I do like what I see in Jazzy in the confidence of it's not working, but I'm going to keep trying. Like, it's her second collegiate game ever. Of course, she deserves grace. Like, I'll give her that. But other than that, if they don't get the 3 going, it's not going to work because you can't just have a Kiki or a Rhea Marshall bully in the paint anymore and just go up and shoot a 3 or put their hands up because they're the tallest player. It's going to come down to what you said, the perimeter shooting, and they didn't even shoot that well. They shot 36%. That's not going to cut it when you're going up against South Carolina next Saturday already.
It's not.
That's another concern too. Is like, while you know the men's hoops have a relatively easy schedule, we have a super hard schedule. And I'm sure when Lindsey Gottlieb was making that schedule, she's thinking it's Juju's junior year. We have 3 number 1 players in the country of their class, right? We're going to be fine. Without Juju, that causes real concern because now you don't have a team who has any chemistry because they're all basically brand new too. There's a lot of transfers that are just learning how to work together, get the rotations down. So when you have a number 9 NC State, number 2 South Carolina, number 18 Notre Dame, and the end of November, that's going to cause significant concern. You have to go up against number 1 UConn in the second week of December. If this team were to have a chance, it's going to be really hard for them to find any type of momentum because they're going up against teams that have no real reason to be going up against them. They don't have a chance. That being said, though, I do like the fight that I see in this women's team. I do think Lindsey Gottlieb does a good job of that. They didn't really veer off. They didn't seem to lose any stamina for real. So I think that's a good point. And like USC's defense is always good. And that's always going to be consistent because of their one of the coaches, Beth Burns. She really instills it into the program. But other than that, we'll just have to see how it pans out. I'm excited for that South Carolina game next week at Crypto, actually. So that would be fun to watch. But moving on from USC basketball in general, actually, there's been a lot of shakeup recently in the NFL, specifically in coaches. I was just wondering, what do you guys take of that? First off, do you think, is this an off year for just a bunch of coaches being fired? What is it exactly that it's making them fired? Because back in the day, like, you wouldn't see coaches being fired at this rate. And especially only with a couple years. You wait till the offseason. You're not going to do it in the middle of the season, right? I was just wondering, what are your takes on that?
I've never been a huge fan of it. That said, I guess if you're a team where firing the coach is in the discussion, I guess you don't really care about your record. In fact, you really want to tank so you get a worse record. So in theory, it doesn't matter. Probably matters more for college, but I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of it. I don't see how it's really going to work. I also tend to think, especially nowadays, GMs are way too quick to fire coaches. I think they have way too little patience. I don't think they seem to trust the vision. I mean, there was a time where people were saying, Dan Campbell, he's got to go. Not working out. It's working out. Trust the process. I don't know. I don't see why you fire a coach so early and in the middle of the season.
I mean,
don't see it.
I share the same thoughts with Brian Table. Who's going to forget that a couple of years ago he took Daniel Jones and that Giants team to a playoff win?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's in the back of everyone's minds now. And coming into this year, what were the expectations for this Giants team? Was anyone expecting them to compete?
Nothing. I think they've exceeded expectations.
Exactly. So now that Jackson Dart has stepped into the starting quarterback role and has shown flashes of greatness, he's one of the best dual threats quarterbacks in the NFL already. And so now when you lose a heartbreaking game against the Bears, in a game that you realistically could have won if it wasn't for the late game heroics of Caleb Williams, which we'll get into later, but it was a very winnable game for the Giants, and that's kind of been one of the themes throughout the years, that the Giants have had a couple of winnable games, and then they blow it. That Denver Broncos game is going to be the main reason, I think, for Brian Dable's firing, even though it wasn't the most recent. You cannot collapse like that in a game and accept that and move forward. I genuinely do think that there were rumors that he got fired after the game, and they had to talk the front office out of firing him because they wanted the best for Jackson Dart's development. They wanted the best for this young team that has a bright future and high expectations down the road. Now, that being said, I do think you should give coaches more time, but Dable's had a long time in New York.
How much time do you think is enough time? How many seasons it's like, all right, he's had his chance?
It's difficult because he's gone through a carousel of quarterbacks. He had Daniel Jones, and then he had to deal with Russ, and then he has to, deal with Jackson Dart and starting a rookie. I do think that Jackson Dart instilled some life in his coaching job. I think he gave him a little bit more of a lifeline, but they were looking down the road, and they were looking, you're playing in a big market in New York. Can these fans suffer any longer under Brian Dable? And the thing is it's a cutthroat industry, and they're going to look for a scapegoat. So when the Giants are, being trash, they don't want to contend with just being trash and tanking. They want an excuse. So what are they going to do? They're going to fire the coach. And now when they're going to hire a new coach, it's going to be, now we can look towards the future. That's the avenue that the front office wanted. So even though I don't think they should have done it, in terms of personnel, in terms of player development, in terms of the future, it was the right business move. You got to do it.
Here's the thing. So Dable came in 2022, went 9-7, took a really bad Giants team to a winning record. Great year. People were talking high on him. After that, 2023, 2024, losing records. Let's forget about that. Let's focus on this year. Giants are 2-8. Two of those losses came from Russ. Obviously, not the quarterback. Let's focus on Jackson Dart. He's the future. Jackson Dart is 2-5 this year. He has possibly one of the best 2-5 records I've ever seen from a quarterback. Those two wins, first of all, includes a win over the 6-2 Eagles and over the 7-3 Chargers. Two incredible wins. Losses against the 8-2 Broncos, 6-2 Eagles.
The game they should have won.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, exactly. 6-3 Bears, 6-4 49ers, and then the 2-8 Saints. All of those games, except for a loss against the Saints, are against winning teams. Very strong winning teams. So if you're telling me last year, if the Giants wanted to fire Dable, fine. I mean, they went 3-14, bad year. I don't get why you do it now. You have the quarterback of your future. He's played some of the best teams in the NFL. He's won 2 of those games. I don't get why you do it now. Why now after he beat 2 incredible teams and lost a couple to some other incredible teams? Doesn't make sense to me. This is not the time to fire Dable. He didn't do anything wrong now. Last year he sucked. This year I don't think so.
Yeah, I wonder how the pressures differed for the front office now, especially with media and everything on social media now. Do they find more pressure I have to fire this guy because our record stinks? Or is it something in the NFL? That's kind of where my mind goes to. I agree with you, Nolan. I do think it was too early, especially because at this point, your team, you're not going to go to the Super Bowl. You're not going to reach the playoffs, right? So why kind of hinder Jackson Dart's development in his rookie year? He already that's his head. No matter what, that's his head coach.
Yeah.
Why get rid of that? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't agree with the firing. I do think people are really quick to fire coaches these days. But the Giants did lose to the Bears, and I do know, Matt, you have some Caleb Williams comments, so I'm excited to hear. Go ahead.
Okay, so at the beginning of the year, especially when the Bears started 0-2, and as USC students, we all want the best for our guy, our Heisman winner, one of the best quarterbacks of the modern generation when it comes to college football. But I saw a lot of flaws within Caleb Williams. I still saw him taking way too much time in the pocket. We still saw him making a lot of throws on the run that were really, really inaccurate. And against 2 NFC North teams that the Bears were expected to compete with the Lions and the Vikings game was a much closer one, but the Lions was a complete blowout. I didn't think that Caleb Williams was going to be able to compete. I didn't think that he was going to be able to come in to an extremely competitive division and thrust the Bears into a potential playoff spot. However, with what I've seen from Caleb Williams throughout these past 6 weeks has been absolutely incredible. I think he's already he's in the top 3 of most clutch quarterbacks in the NFL. With how he's commanded the Bears offense in the fourth quarter, it's unbelievable. You see the type of throws he's making. The throw to Colston Loveland against the Bengals, I don't think people appreciate how good that throw really was. He threw it through 2 levels into double coverage to his tight end who hasn't gotten much action throughout most of the year. And to go out there and make the biggest throw of the season, arguably, to a rookie tight end, that kind of sums it up for you. Last week, 2nd and 8. In a crucial game that leads to Brian Daboll's firing, he scrambles to the edge and gets into the end zone. And one of the main comments I see throughout Instagram and social media is, if Caleb Williams played like he does in the fourth quarter, in every quarter, he'd be an MVP candidate. And I truly do agree. Caleb Williams does still have some extreme flaws in his game. I do think he lacks touch. In college football, he was kind of able to just use his physical traits and kind of bully teams and bully opponents. But when you saw him play a great team, flashback to 2023 Notre Dame, where he goes into South Bend and gets absolutely dismantled by a great defense, I think now that he's developing some sort of touch, and he still needs to, I think he'll get better as the year goes along. I think Caleb Williams is going to get better. He will, mark my words, be the first 4,000-yard passer in Bears history. That's a guarantee. I honestly think that's a guarantee because Caleb Williams is only going to get better. I don't see any path for regression in Caleb Williams' game. I do think he's only going to get better. He's going to lead the Bears to a playoff spot. And I was a complete idiot for doubting him at the beginning of the year. I did not give him enough time, especially in a Ben Johnson system that's extremely complicated. We saw Jared Goff struggle with it in the beginning of his Lions tenure with Dan Campbell. And so I really do think Caleb Williams is the future. My apologies, Caleb.
As a Chicago fan, I really hope you're right. I really hope you're right. I do think, I want to say, I think this shows what a good coach can do for someone, though, right? Like, Ben Johnson coming in and leading this team has obviously reflected onto Caleb, and he's been able to just be clutch, and he's been clutch. I saw something about how his QBR is way higher in the fourth quarter than any other quarter, right? So if I wanted a quarterback, do I want someone who's going to be good all 4 quarters? Yes. But I want someone who's going to be clutch. And so, like, I feel like other things he can work through. He can get better in the other quarters. He can, like, Ben Johnson is definitely quarterback, offensive-minded coach. He can figure that. They can figure that out. I'm glad that we have someone who's clutch, because that's something that the Bears have never had.
You can't teach
Never
clutch.
have.
Can't teach it.
Like, man, I grew up during Jay Cutler years. Like, dude, the amount of times I've seen the ball just fumble out of his hand. So to see Caleb and to finally have someone who's clutch feels real good. So I'm definitely on Matt's side right now. Nolan.
Yeah, I mean he started 0-2 on the year where he's facing a lot of pressure, facing more pressure than most guys with the stat line and relative success that I saw from him last year. I don't think he was a bad quarterback by any means. Even now he's facing pressure, he's facing criticism, whatever. He's won 6 of his last 7 games. Just realized. Got to do that. 6-3 record this year, 61 completion rate. That's the only kind of, I guess, bad part of his stat line, really. But again, that's because first 3 quarters, he's not looking like the fourth quarter Caleb Williams. But even still, 13 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, couple hundred rushing yards. He can use his legs. He can scramble. He can also just get out of the pocket to escape some pressure. 4 interceptions. I mean, you've obviously watched more Bears football than I have. I don't necessarily see every play that he goes through, but he's got a good stat line. He's leading his team to success. Again, won 6 of his last 7 games. He's lost 1 game the last 2 months. Mm-hmm. That's really good. And the fact that people are still kind of hating on him, saying he's not a good quarterback, that, in my opinion, purely stems from his stock as a first overall quarterback, the success he had in college, his off-the-field antics and his persona and his diva-like self. He's a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback.
He's a great quarterback.
You can't ask for anything else.
I really, you don't understand. As a Chicago fan, I've been in the trenches for so long. I really hope I really hope he's
He'll
that
be the
one.
first 4,000 yard
Because, you know,
passer.
I heard
Easy.
Mitch Trubisky was the one, Jay Cutler was the one, like, Justin Fields. Don't even get me started on him. Let's move on, though, to college football. USC has Iowa coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We have, you know, Oregon coming up, UCLA. Obviously, Iowa and Oregon are those two that we're worried about. They have 2 losses on the year. If they complete the year without any more losses, I think they are a college football playoff contender. What do we think the outlook is for playoffs?
My hopes are incredibly slim. First of all, I think it's a huge assumption to say you're going to beat all 3 of those teams. I think the probability that you beat, I do think they'll beat Iowa, but I think there's a chance that Iowa wins. Oregon, good luck. UCLA, still, I don't think you can overlook them. It's a rivalry game. You can never overlook them. Let's say they beat all 3 of those teams. Typically, if you're a 2-loss team in the 12-team playoff, we've kind of assumed, especially if you're a big name like USC, you get in. Here's the problem. Right now, looking at last week's CFP poll, there's a couple teams like Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M. They're undefeated. They're probably not going to lose another game. Even if they do, they're a 1-loss team. They're in it, whatever. There's a bunch of other 8-1 teams that only play one other ranked opponent. I'm kind of tentatively saying they're in the college football playoff because they're, right now they're in it and they're not going to lose more than one game, so they stay. The only teams that are a 2-loss team that still have another ranked opponent and can therefore fall to a 3-loss team. We're really looking at Notre Dame is 7-2 and they play Pitt. You're looking at Texas Tech could play like BYU in the Big 12 championship and maybe fall out. Like there's a couple teams, but there's really not that many that are going to fall out in my opinion. And if any of them do fall out, right now, there's 7 teams ahead of USC waiting to get in. The first team out is Texas. They have a tough schedule, so I do think they'll fall. But then you've got Oklahoma. They're 7-2, and they play Alabama. If they beat Alabama, they're getting in over USC. Utah, 7-2. They have a cupcake schedule the rest of the year, and they're 6 slots ahead of USC. They're going to get it over USC unless they lose a game. Virginia, they're 8-1. As long as they keep winning and they have kind of a cupcake schedule, they're going to get in. Louisville, same thing. Vanderbilt, they play Tennessee. If they take care of Tennessee, they're in over USC. I don't think a lot of teams are going to fall out of the CFP that are currently in it. And if they do, there's like 7 teams waiting to get in that are currently ranked over USC. I don't think they're getting in.
With the next 3 matchups, it would have been great if Iowa beat Oregon last week. That would have been tremendous in terms of our playoff hopes. But I'll stay realistic now. I do think we'll win against Iowa at home this week. You go into Oregon next week. Realistically, at the beginning of the season, I thought there was no way we were going to go into Eugene and win. However, Iowa and Penn State clearly showed me that Oregon is a beatable team. And Oregon has not played a tough schedule this year by any means. So I think that USC's offense is going to take them by storm. And I do think that game is going to come down to the last drive. I really do think it will. And then for UCLA, they've had a couple of close games. I do think that if we win out, they're going to view 2 out of the 3 wins as quality wins. And you saw all the people that are ahead of USC in the polls. The ACC, which has a lot of the teams ahead of us, especially with the names like Louisville, like Georgia Tech, I think the AP poll has to come together and realize that the ACC has been an absolute, disaster in terms of playing schedules, in terms of strength of schedule, in terms of competition. I don't think the ACC, in terms of competing for a college football championship, has the teams like the Big Ten and the SEC does. And I also do think that the SEC bias, we'll see how that evens out. But I do think that voters are starting to realize that the Big Ten is for real. And with USC, especially having that big win over Michigan, if Michigan goes out and beats Ohio State, that is going to be huge for us. So there's a lot that needs to go right for us. There's a lot that needs to go right down the line. And will it? I don't know. As USC fans, we've kind of been disappointed throughout the past couple of seasons. But there is a path. There's a very realistic path to me.
I don't know.
I think that there is an open path that USC controls their own destiny. I do think that if they win out, they control their own destiny. It's not like years past where, it's out of their hands. I do think it is their own destiny, and I do think they have a chance.
I agree. I think we do have a chance, but like you said, we have to win out, and other teams have to lose, or like it has to work.
It'll
out for
happen.
us.
It'll happen.
You need some two-loss teams to get that third
Right.
loss. I don't want to bank on it.
I just know what's eating them up though is that Illinois loss. Like
Yeah.
that. Well, it's eating me up. We're food poisoning away from being real, like actually being into the conversation. I hope we get in. Like, I'm just being realistic. Probably not.
You think they're losing to Oregon?
Yeah, I think we're losing to Oregon. We can't win the away games. We can't win. Lincoln Riley's big thing is Lincoln Riley's like number one criticism is that he can't win the big games, and he's shown that. Especially we can't win away. I mean, if you even look at just that Illinois game, we couldn't win against Illinois. Who's to say we can win against Oregon? We did get a win against Purdue this year. Like, what is
But the
that
big
to
game and
show?
the road game combined,
Right? No. I don't think Lincoln Riley's, the strongest coach for us. I don't think I do think his time is coming to an end if we don't win against. I don't think they're gonna fire him this year. I think after next year, I think they'll fire him if we don't make it to the playoff. But yeah, that's just me. I don't know. Any last football thoughts before we head out?
Good luck to the Trojans. I just don't think they control their own destiny. They can do whatever they can. They can win out from here on, from this point on. But there's SEC bias, and maybe the voters realize the ACC is not legit at all. But there's still some SEC and some Big 12 teams, in my opinion, that look better than USC to me, and they're ahead of them right now. USC has to change their mind, and maybe beating Oregon will. I don't know, but I'm pessimistic.
We will beat Oregon. Mark my words. I'm telling you right now. Lincoln Riley knows how big that game is. He's never ever won that. You can call that Nebraska game on the road a big win. He's never ever won the big game on the road. It's going to be Oregon. I'm telling you, he knows the implications. He knows his job's on the line. He knows how much this means to USC. We're winning the game. And I've never said that before about a road game
That's
with
true.
Lincoln Riley. He's winning this game.
At the end of the day, we may not be in the playoff. We may be out of the playoff. But if we finish with the win against UCLA, I'll take that. And
But I don't want a
it.
Las Vegas Bowl,
That's
man.
it.
I want to
Yeah, I don't
be
either.
in contention for the college football playoffs.
We're not beating Oregon.
We are.
Well, we'll see.
We are.
That's it.
We'll come back to that.
That's it for B block. Stay around for C block. We have some more coaches talk, but yeah, that's it for us. Thank you.
All right, looks like we're back. We are back with an amazing C block, and we got pretty much the whole crew here, minus Nolan. But all right, guys, really quick, this just kind of came into my head because I took a road trip this weekend. But I wanted to know, when it comes to road trip, you guys, what is your go-to meal? What's in the car there with you, whether you're the driver or not? What's your go-to snack on a road trip?
I mean, I could start us off. I haven't been on too many road trips, but the one I did go on was with my friend, my best friend from Utah. And he loves driving back from Utah to Los Angeles. And, 13-hour trip, we have one snack. We've done it, and it's just the ginormous barrel of red vines. That's it.
What the hell?
That's all we
You
ran
eat
on.
the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
Wow.
13 hours just driving. I mean,
I just feel like I'd get tired of it after a while.
I don't know. That felt like the best. I mean, obviously,
Wait, red vine's what I'm thinking of.
there's
Oh
the
no, yeah,
sticky
you are
ones.
the
Like
licorice.
licorice,
Hey,
yeah.
the
I was
big
gonna-
red sticks.
I was
of
gonna say, you don't
licorice.
get tired of just licorice. Like,
Nah, listen.
By the way, in a big tub of red vines, it's approximately 2,917 calories.
that's it.
that's the big one. Right?
Yeah, that's the big
That's
one.
the whole barrel.
3.5 pound.
Wow.
Do you need the calories?
It
A
could be-
5-pound tub has
Might have been the
4,167.
5 pound. I don't.
That's literally insane.
I
Three
love
and a
red
half?
vines. Like, it is my favorite movie theater candy. But dude, after I eat like one small package of it,
Yeah,
like
no.
my
I was
stomach's
gonna say,
dead.
I get tired.
A full bucket, and you're stuck in a car.
Listen, I'm just saying. It's it's an interesting take, but that's what we did, and it worked well. I mean, we didn't get tired of it. We weren't hungry. I mean, are you including taking stops too? Because if you're taking a stop at a fast food
I think
place,
at that point, with your big
For a
tub
road
of red
trip.
vines, you might have to.
No, but in general, for your question, it's like you have a spot that you take a.
Yeah, I mean, I've driven. I think the farthest that I've driven would probably be like maybe San Fran,
Okay.
because that's about 6 hours.
Yeah.
I've driven to Yosemite, but I think Yosemite's a little less than that.
Okay.
All the times I've made like at least one stop. You gotta stretch your legs.
Yeah. So
I don't know about you guys, but you gotta stretch your legs.
yeah. Otherwise, then
That's
fast food with the red
insane.
vines.
Fast food and the red vines.
On that trip we went to, and this is gonna be crazy, Panda Express as well as red vines. So
Okay.
really balanced diet. I mean,
What'd you
kidding
get from
me?
Panda Express?
Orange chicken and the fried rice.
Oh, okay.
that's
With
At least
soy sauce
That's a
and the
recipe for
teriyaki.
disaster, man.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying, it was good. We got back. I'm still alive. I don't have food poisoning from
He's
it. So,
skinny.
I'm skinny. Listen, tricks of the trade, man.
That's crazy.
Okay.
So now maybe to a normal
once I
answer. Here we go.
heard the tub of red vines, I was like, "Holy cow!" Okay, you gotta like know what you're getting into. You gotta have a variety, or you're gonna get sick of something. Like
Yeah.
as soon as I heard
Not that.
100
Allegedly.
sticks of red vines
No.
in a row, by the 10th one, I'm already getting sick of it. But
Yeah.
you gotta have something salty. So I always go salt and vinegar. The
Oh,
best.
no.
Yeah.
The best.
You like salt and vinegar?
Yeah.
Of course, I had it
Why
today.
wouldn't
That's
you?
so
It's
nice.
I had it
so
today.
good.
Nah.
No, it's
Nah.
good.
I had it today.
I'm like smelling it right now, and I'm already disgusted.
Whoa. Okay.
Pick a better salty snack. You know what? Actually, I can't talk. I got the red vines, but pick a better salty snack.
That is the best one. And then so with something sweet, peach rings. Any day,
Oh, that's
any
a good
day of the
pull.
week, I'm eating a bag of peach rings. I don't think I've ever grabbed a different bag of candy
Okay.
when it comes to a road trip.
I feel like
I
you
have
don't
questions
hear
about
that
that.
a lot.
I have questions about that.
Go
What?
ahead.
Quantity of the peach rings. How many are you
Are
getting
you
in a
buying
bag?
a 3.5 pound?
I mean, listen.
I'm a normal person. I'm gonna get one bag.
Okay, but are you going? Is it just you? Or you got friends in the car?
Well, I mean, I
Like-
think everyone's got their own thing going on. I don't think we have the communal red vine tub.
Listen,
tradition that we
peach
usually
bag. I'm sorry, there's not a lot in there. I feel like you gotta go.
I
At
mean,
least
watch
two or
to get
three.
some trades. It'll be like, you want some of mine?
Matt, you
can
don't
take
have
some of yours.
200 peach rings. What's wrong
Yeah,
with
you
you?
don't have enough
my-
calories.
my
Like
bad.
the Infinity Stones.
So-
I don't have a giant like industrial tub of peach rings. I got
Just
straight from the
consider it next
manufacturer.
road trip. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe I will, but I think I'm gonna have to be taking multiple stops throughout the road.
no.
I might have to stop at an ER for that much sugar ingested, but that's my take, man.
Keeps going.
Okay, peach rings, salt and vinegar chips.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
No drink.
Water.
What? Okay.
Water.
Soda while I'm
Oh, I
driving.
felt like
soda
water
while
or
I'm
something.
driving makes me antsy, and I gotta pee too much because all that sugar, man. So I just need water. That's all I need.
Okay. All right.
For me, I'm just not a big snacker in general. But if I ever do bring something on a road trip, usually it's like, okay, whatever I have at home. And so at home we have this like big tub of
Red Vines?
Okay.
not red vines, peanut M&Ms, you know, like the Costco ones. But
Those are good.
you know, I don't eat those in one sitting. You know, like throughout we
Periodically.
had it for like a year. Throughout the year, like we kind of snack through there when we're having movie night or something, or like I'm gonna take in a Ziploc bag, whatever.
Okay.
So I would probably grab like a Ziploc bag full of those, and then we always have Skinny Pop at home. I don't know why,
Ooh.
but
Okay.
I love Skinny Pop. Like
It's
I love Skinny Pop. I'll eat that all day.
Wait, so where right now, how empty or how full is that tub of M&Ms?
Right now, it's probably like a fourth left, maybe.
Okay,
Wow.
that's a significant
See,
amount.
portion control,
Yeah.
reasonable sizing.
Yeah. And with the family, by the way.
Okay,
4 of
yeah,
us.
yeah. There's 4 people versus what?
two guys going on
Versus
around.
two
guys
Come
going
on.
ham on
And
the
some
red
red
vine.
vines.
There was a
Crazy.
third guy, but he was sleeping the whole time. So
The guy
he
that's
didn't
like
count.
red vine.
I want to see like a time lapse of just like that bucket slowly getting eaten by those two.
That's.
Do you ever double fist the red vines, or is it like one?
No, you don't
One
just
at
do
a
one at a
time?
time. If you have that amount, you can't just do one at a
Like
time.
okay, so like you're sitting. Are you driving or are you? in
No,
the
he's driving. I'm passenger.
Okay, you're in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
You're holding the tub of red vines for the
Mhm.
both of you.
Yeah,
What's like the portion? What are you taking out? Like how many at a time?
2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Yeah, respect.
In one hand, or are you like one in one hand, 2 in the other?
one hand. Wait,
I'm just wondering.
yeah,
I don't
if you're
know.
trying to get through a 5-pound tub of red vines, you can't go one at a time.
I've
It's
just never met someone who's trying to go through a 5-pound.
You haven't
red
met.
vine.
Whose
I'll tell
take
you.
is crazier? The pretzels on Halloween, or a whole 5-pound tub of red vines on a road trip? I actually want to get opinions because I do think that's a valid debate.
There were atrocities played against you in that debate. We know it. The caramel apple. Oh, because I'm sorry. Have you ever had a caramel apple on
Yeah.
Halloween?
But have you gotten it from a house?
No. They're saying
From a
it's
house,
not
from a
trick or
house.
treating. Someone's actually put a caramel apple in your bag.
Okay, I will say my grandma's done that before for other people.
That's crazy.
Have you?
No, I've never had
Okay, so-
gotten a caramel
Wait,
apple.
but my grandma, like, she does Halloween big, and like she'll do something.
Okay.
like
Okay, but what's more
crazy.
reasonable? Getting pretzels from that one house that you usually go
I've
to?
never
on a-
gotten pretzels. from-
What?
I've gotten
1,000% no. I've always gotten
Okay,
like some
so
type of candy.
allegedly, who said caramel apples? Was that?
It was Nolan.
That was
Was it
Nolan.
Nolan?
So you and
Yeah.
Nolan apparently same neighborhood because maybe Nolan went to her
where's
grandma's
Do you know
house.
where Nolan's from?
He's from the Bay Area, I think.
Oh, interesting. I was gonna
Not
say maybe it's like a
Chicago.
regional thing.
I
But
don't know, maybe.
not
No.
It's a
regional.
Midwest thing. I don't know.
I thought your pretzels was fine, but come on, red vines, man. Crazy.
Okay.
I don't love red vines too much to do that though.
I like
I
it,
don't
but
think
not
I
in
love
that
any
quantity.
candy that much to do that.
Mm.
Like
You
I
guys
couldn't-
just don't love
I
candy
couldn't
as much
sit
as I
there
do,
and
that's what
eat
it
the
sounds
tub
like.
of all my
Okay,
M&Ms.
I gotta get red vines off my mind. So, give us
Okay,
your
Christian, what'd you
Okay.
say?
your snack.
What'd you
So
say?
I
Well,
can enjoy it.
for me, I always like to have consistency. So it's got to be like kind of like how you said, something salty, something sweet.
Uh-huh.
I think when it comes to a drink, for me, it's got to be like a coconut water. Maybe a
Ooh,
coconut water.
okay.
You get some electrolytes going.
Refreshing,
Or
alright.
water in general.
Okay.
Today, or actually this weekend, when my girlfriend and I were heading up to Monterey Bay, I think we had like small bag of chips, small, not Costco size bag of chips.
That's your loss.
Yeah,
That's
no, no, that would have done us horns. No, yeah, that and like some, I think we had some like salted peanuts, a little
Okay.
bag of peanuts, and
Healthy.
healthy. Well,
Come
to
on.
an
Well,
extent.
peanuts, coconut
guess.
water,
Sure, yeah.
red vines, water.
No.
I'm just saying,
Don't
it's
throw
difference in
that
health,
in there.
difference
Don't
in
throw that
health.
in there.
Yeah.
Don't
I
throw
mean,
that
no,
in
because
there.
you had peach
I
rings
thought you would
and
just
salt.
stick that in.
I think that was it. And then like we had like a bag of cookies. That was it. Yeah. So
What kind
that's
of cookies?
Chips Ahoy.
Oh,
Chips Ahoy. Okay.
Have you ever had
A
the?
road trip
Do you like the
staple.
chewy Chips Ahoy?
Yes.
Those are
So
pretty good.
I joke about this and I say this is how I got into USC. You know how you have to do like the questionnaire at the end?
Yeah.
It's like little whatever one thing question. It was like, what was your favorite snack? And like my favorite snack during high school was Chips Ahoy cookies warmed up in the microwave for 2 seconds. But it has to be the chewy ones, and it has to be 2 seconds. It was perfect.
Wow.
So if you ever
I
get
actually like the
chewy ones-
crunchier ones. Like
Yeah.
I like
No,
it when
it's-
it's like
they're both good, but I don't know why that was my obsession
Okay.
in high school.
I remember we talked about this. It might have been like a year ago now in one of the first or two TOT episodes that I was a part of. Chips Ahoy or Oreo?
Chips Ahoy.
Okay.
Wow.
And what goes better with milk?
Ooh.
oh well Oreos.
Well.
Come on.
Okay, but in general, you're picking Oreos, or just because I said the milk part?
I think I'm taking Oreos in general.
Really?
Yeah.
Chips Ahoy, when you want Chips Ahoy, man, they like. Okay,
They do.
I think Chips Ahoy
I
at
might
their
have to
peak
go to Ralph's
playing.
after this.
Chips Ahoy at their peak is better than Oreos, but I think on a day-to-day basis on what you're gonna get in terms of like offense, in terms of what it can give you, I think Oreos kind of does that for you. But I think Chips Ahoy is better in terms of upside, and I'm ultimately gonna go with Chips Ahoy.
But I think there are guys like Chips Ahoy in the league. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
if I want to make chocolate chip cookies at home from scratch, I can. Making Oreos from scratch, that's pretty hard to do.
But
guys
you
know-
don't eat Chips Ahoy because you want homemade chocolate chip cookies.
No,
you eat
that's-
Chips Ahoy because you want Chips Ahoy. It's
That's
very
fair.
different.
Okay.
I think there was Oreo. I think before Oreo came another cookie. I can't remember the name of it. I remember seeing this, like, I think it was like a clip on like TikTok or something like that. That there was a similar Oreo looking cookie that came before the Nabisco Oreo cookie. I can't remember the name of it was, but I guess Nabisco stole that idea
Wow.
off of that cookie, and then created the Oreo.
So you're saying Oreos had a fraudulent career?
Oh,
Yes,
the
that's why.
Hydrox.
Hydrox. There we go. The Hydrox.
Wow, this
Yeah.
is super similar.
Hydrox came. Yeah.
Let's see
look
that.
at
Oh, wow.
I
Wow,
kinda
Similar
like-
that's
packaging.
identical.
That's plagiarism if I've seen it. That's insane.
So
Yeah.
we're
USC 's
incorporating the
coming back.
character clause here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a steroid allegation.
Yeah, this is big, man. I mean,
See, Chips Ahoy is a humble beginning. I mean, this is just a guy coming, undrafted and working his way up the depth chart. And
Walk on.
he's here.
Walk on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I gotta go Chips Ahoy. Chips Ahoy. I mean, you gotta have it regular, chewy. You got the chunk option. I mean, there's so many ways you can have it.
That sounds
But-
good.
I
I'm
can't-
just rooting for Chips Ahoy as like a character.
Chewy.
No, I'm
There
not
you
even.
go.
I'm not even.
Chewy is one of those
Story.
options that, dare I say, I may even finish the whole bag.
Mm.
Chewy,
You
something about chewy Chips
you
Ahoy.
don't
Can you
Normally
finish a
finish the whole
5-pound
bag?
tube?
No, because I'm not you. I'm not. I
No.
can't finish anything of.
I think there's a trend because I do end up finishing whole packages of Oreos. Now it's
How is this?
Do you
guy
have a big
skinny?
sweet tooth? Is that what it is?
no, I wouldn't go that far. No, I definitely don't have a sweet.
So he tells us about the 5-pound tub, but doesn't have a sweet.
I feel like there's
Right.
not enough evidence to.
Is there
go
anything
against
else that
statement.
you
Yeah.
eat a big portion of? I'm kind of like
Is there
concerned. now.
anything concerned?
Yeah,
A big portion. Well, what do you consider a big portion? Because apparently,
5 pounds of red vine.
other than 5 pounds of red vines, and maybe a whole package of Oreos, depending on the day. I mean, not that I could think like
No.
big amounts. If it's there, like you just eat it though. You know what I mean? Like you're playing games or
If he
you're
comes to
doing
tailgate
work.
with us on Saturday,
They're gonna keep me away from all
we
the
gotta keep them
snack
away
tape.
from all the snacks.
No, they'll be
exactly.
gone. I do not care. They will be gone.
Okay. Well, you know, it's funny. I had to bring this up because we were talking about this behind the glass when you guys were on your block. But did you guys hear about the, I guess, young lady, I don't know. Today, she took CHP on a rampage of a police pursuit.
I just saw that.
Right?
on TikTok
Okay.
before we came
So,
here.
Matt, if you didn't hear this police chase started in Sherman Oaks, right?
Okay.
That's in the Valley, for those
Yep.
of you guys who don't know. Valley. She went and took CHP all the way from the 5 freeway into the 405, deep into the, I think it was the 805 or something like that. Point is, she wound up crossing the U.S.-Mexico border and into Mexico.
from Sherman Oaks.
Sherman
Yeah.
Oaks. On a Toyota Sienna. That's a minivan.
It is.
Wait,
a
so
minivan.
where did they catch her?
Nowhere. She went into Mexico. She's in Mexico right now partying up.
Wait, okay, when you
Get
get
a racing
when,
contract.
yeah.
I like when you get to the border and you pass to the checkpoint. How did nobody stop her?
I have
She
no idea.
zoomed, I guess.
She
On the power of, dare I say, for the last time, a 5 pound.
she was not eating 5 pounds of red vines.
You don't know.
I think she was on something else. I don't know if it was a red vine.
Yeah, she took that car from Sherman Oaks all the way to the Mexico border and into Mexico. She wasn't caught. By the way, I think spike strips were deployed like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and they
And you couldn't bring
and
down a minivan?
avoided that. Yeah, no.
Two shipments.
So Toyota Sienna sales
Her
are going
gas
off the
didn't
roof.
run out. Like
Her gas didn't run out.
she never
We're talking
stopped.
about
She planned for
2.5 hours of driving.
Yeah, that's-
Still, it's
The mileage
the
on it.
mileage.
Wait, what was she even running away from? Like
I don't know.
what
It's
did
something. She had something about like a mental breakdown, and she stole the minivan from someone.
Oh, Oh, so
it
she
wasn't
picked
even
this
hers.
vehicle out
Bro,
herself. She
imagine
knew what she was getting into.
Well, wait. If you're trying to go, you pick a mini. I'm just shocked.
What? I mean, the results show.
And
Yeah.
I guess she got a lucky
If
with
I
a
ever
full
wanna
tank of
run away,
gas.
I know how.
You know what car to pick now, and you know which direction you're going into.
True.
That's
Just
crazy.
follow the path.
Yeah. Okay, real quick, let's wrap up on this last topic. Now, Matt brought this up earlier, and we've talked about a lot of coaches being fired and whatnot. But put yourself in a position of a football coach, right? You're looking for a new job, and now there's all these openings: Penn State, LSU, Florida, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech. I mean, there's so many. Where are you going, and why are you picking this school?
Oh, does it have to be in college?
Well, I guess
There's
you could.
some
I
I mean,
you want-
Giants job opening up.
College is so much more diverse when
Yeah.
it comes
Yeah.
to like college football, like coaching opportunities. So I think college football is like cooler, because like NFL is NFL.
Yeah.
Like
You're
not
gonna
having
go
this,
to
like,
New York
crazy
City,
disparity.
right? Yeah. Whereas we're talking about it, you're going to go to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, instead of New Orleans, right? So you're bound
I
out
think-
to wind up somewhere more.
I feel like if I had to pick, I'd go to Penn State.
Penn
I like
State.
if I'm a coach, I want that atmosphere.
Okay.
They haven't won a natty since like the 80s. So you want to be
Joe
the first
Paterno.
you want to be the coach to like bring them their first one in a while. You're already established there. I feel like it'd be kind of cool like just to plug in and you already have everything behind you. So it's like if you fail, like it's really on you.
Okay.
But I will say justice for James Franklin. I don't think they should have fired him.
Yeah.
Justice for him. But I'm just saying, if I had to pick out of the vacancies now, if we're talking about, are we talking about like all time, or are we just talking about like
I
No,
think vacancies right now.
current vacancy right now? Like I would pick Penn State. I wouldn't want to pick like LSU. Like I'm not going to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, no, I was telling Matt, someone of my brown skin color would not do good in Baton Rouge.
That's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
and that's right.
That's right.
And that's why we're gonna be in Penn State.
Yeah.
At Penn State.
I'm kind of right in the same boat as you,
Can't
but
go to LSU. Can't go to Florida. Can't go to Auburn.
yeah, not Auburn. Not Auburn. But I'm looking at these schools, different options, and it'd be too easy for me to say like Stanford maybe, because that's gonna be a tough
Wow.
Yeah.
program to turn around. You got
Yeah.
Andrew Luck and all this support, and for sure Palo Alto's nice and all that. I'm gonna go on a whim here. I'm gonna say Oklahoma State. Why?
Oklahoma State?
Yeah. One, because I think I'd look pretty good in a cowboy hat. You're damn right.
How
That
can
is
you?
one of the
You're worried
jobs
about
of
your
all
brown
time.
skin and you're going to Oklahoma State.
Damn right! Because LSU's a little further down south. Oklahoma State, I think Stillwater could still,
What
We
are
could be
you
at
gonna do?
peace.
Wait, what are
Outside
you
of your
doing in
co-
Oklahoma
yeah.
State?
huh?
What are you doing there?
Turn the Cowboys around, baby. They haven't had a coach. They've had Mike Gundy for what, like 20 years now? They need someone new. And what better way to turn around than this with this
Holy
beautiful face right
smokes.
here?
Yeah, but how about all the takes of you backing your Longhorns on this podcast? They're going to be
We're not
into
gonna
your
play
hiring
them.
review.
We're not gonna play them.
Like, well, now wait a minute.
Well, the Texas job isn't open. Not yet. When it opens up, then
Because
I'm
you now
in.
just
That's your
voiced your
stepping stone to
transferring.
Texas?
Yeah.
There it is. See?
It's a shade of orange, baby.
My goodness.
Wow.
That's just going on a total like 180 right now.
Yeah.
But that's my take. What's yours?
I mean, I don't know, man.
So keep in mind, Penn State's taken, Oklahoma State's taken.
Well, okay. So was it Florida State or just Florida?
No, Florida.
Oh yeah,
Florida.
no. Then I
Gators.
kind of, I don't know. I love trying to turn a team around. So, and you've already taken, Oklahoma State. So I want to go Stanford
Okay.
because obviously not a great season right now,
No.
and not really hasn't had one in a little bit. So I want to I'd like to try and turn that around and go for it. That's just always been a dream of mine. Take a team that's not doing well and then bring them to a championship. So I feel like that's the best way to do that. I mean, obviously, with the way head coaching jobs have gone, if I don't get it done within the first 2 weeks, I'm gone. So short-lived, but you never know. What about you?
I think the one program I'd want to turn around, and this is gonna sound crazy, especially because we go to school here. But there's
Wow,
there's a
don't
job
say it.
opening
Don't
right
say
across
it.
the street.
Whoa.
No, not me as a person. If I'm looking at this objectively, and
Wow.
if I want to turn a program around that has had historic
I'd
success,
rather go to LSU.
has I want to stay.
She does not want to wear the blue.
I want to stay in California. I want to stay somewhere diverse. I want to stay in a city. I don't want to stay in the swamp. I don't want to be in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest. I want to be in a city where, you can actively do some recruiting too. So I do think that UCLA coaching job is actually
empty
really,
Rose Bowl. Let's go.
Yeah, I think
you.
it's really appealing because of the opportunities that can come with turning that program around. Even if things hit the fan, it's not going to be like if you go, you start the season 0-6 at Oklahoma State and now you're looking at life and you're like, wow, there is really nothing outside of football here. And it's like, I think that there are opportunities when it comes to coaching at UCLA that you don't get at other better historic programs.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do think that coaching job is, you're in a big market, you're in the Big Ten, you have some money. You don't have nearly as much money as USC over here when it comes to boosters and alumni and stuff like that. But I think there's the resources to turn the program around. I think there's notable alumni to come in and recruit. And I do think that playing in a big market, in a big conference, I do think that there's the upsides there.
So I gotta ask you, Coach, Rose Bowl or SoFi? Where would you rather play?
SoFi any day.
SoFi any day.
And
Are you kidding me?
there.
Well, no, now he's got the job.
Rose Bowl is a dump.
That was their test.
The Rose Bowl is
That was
a
the
dump.
test.
Do you remember what happened to me at the Rose Bowl? I don't want that happening again.
Oh, that's
I forgot
right.
about that. I forgot.
Wait, he doesn't know that story.
We're coming
No.
up.
He doesn't know that story.
Pull up the video.
You didn't see this go viral?
Oh.
Dude, Matt, that was on my on my
crazy.
TikTok on 10 different pages for 2 weeks.
Okay, Matt, you gotta at
Yeah,
least
you
tell
have
us
to
short
fill in
version
Okay.
of this story.
I'll keep it short. I was
And he would still want to coach there. Those are the fans. I forgot about that.
purely objective.
And he's getting mad.
He got assaulted there. He's like,
State?
yes, this is where I want to be.
Okay,
go
I was
on.
donning the
Let's hear
FUCLA shirt in
Oh.
the UCLA student section at
Okay.
last year's game.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know me. I was talking a little bit of trash, not to her, but just some of my friends in the student section, and she might have been a little intoxicated, and she might have been not in the best state of mind. And next thing I know, I'm sitting down, I see one of these coming straight towards me, and wham!
Wow.
On video.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep in mind, he was in a sea of blue. Like, he was straight up. in
Well,
the
yeah,
middle.
that's how.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
see that here too.
No, but
Yeah.
deep in the student section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then, our
And-
poor
And then
Matt.
wham.
got
And it
assaulted.
still didn't knock any sense to him. He still wants to be
And he still
UCLA
wants to go to
coach.
UCLA.
I mean, it just shows me I'm still. It's just business. Nothing personal. It's just business.
Close.
So
You
do
almost
we
said
get rid
loyal.
of her as a
Hey.
student, coach?
Did we?
Do you?
Do I?
Do I?
Well, I don't know if I have any administrative powers, but
Sure you do.
I mean, coach.
What are you talking about? You're turning this program
Why not?
around. You can
Yeah.
do whatever you
Yeah,
like.
I might have to talk to the administrators. I might have to talk to the school, but
the dean.
we'll see. Yeah,
That's in your contract.
we'll
It's
see.
yeah.
Cut,
It's a one-
cut
one
scholarship
caveat.
clause.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. There's going to be a lot of special clauses in that contract.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's
But I'm taking that
genuinely
UCLA job,
shocked.
man.
That's
taking that UCLA
genuinely
job.
shocked. Not even a potential Florida State, Wisconsin, maybe.
Dude, I don't want to go to the. I don't want to go to the swamp. I don't want to go somewhere where
You're gonna be freezing your butt off.
where I got to deal with these drastic temperature changes. I don't want to go to somewhere I'm not
Drastic.
familiar with. Like, I want to stay in LA. I've been born and raised here my entire life. I want to be familiar with where I'm at. Maybe if Lincoln Riley got fired, I'd obviously take this job, but next best thing, honestly, in my opinion.
Now you never get hired. You just said that you want to be at UCLA. If you get hired for USC, I'm gonna.
I mean, if
replay
anything,
that.
there's
Yeah,
something.
you
I'm,
too.
I'm
Also, just burn your
identifying
bridges
a
with
need within the industry. I'm identifying what needs to be done. I'm not taking my personal views into this.
Okay,
It's just business. I'm gonna do what needs to be done.
All right.
You know what I need to do? We need to go on to college football, the video game, create coaches, assign them to those teams. We'll simulate one season, and we'll see which coach comes out the best.
I'm not winning
That-
a game.
I have some faith. Come on. Typically, now I've played Dynasty mode, and for whatever reason, two schools that are always up there, UCLA and Duke, are always up there on my
What are
Dynasty.
the Devils doing up there?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I lost a championship to them already.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I have some beef with the Blue Devils. All right, well, let's end it there. That's everything for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and stick around because Wednesday Crew is going to come back this week. We have a show on Friday, and also we're going to be having a tailgate a la TOT this Saturday when USC plays Iowa. So you might see some behind-the-scenes craziness.
I don't know if I want
Oh.
the cameras on me. If 9:30 in the morning we got to get our stuff on,
The craziness
You
in
never know.
question is.
you never know.
It's just
Will
gonna be
Matt
a
get
tub of red
smacked?
vines.
There better be.
Well, stay tuned for that. There's a lot to come. All right. From Jonathan, Mia, Matt, and Cristian, this is the Monday Crew saying goodbye. And we'll see you next time.